podcast. On this podcast, we'll cover various types of coaching by trainers in sports, martial arts, fitness, and business. We'll discuss each coach's methods to getting the most out of their respective athletes or clients and how they attempt to change the platform in which they coach. Join us on a fun adventure as we discuss unique coaching styles. Coaching is a universal part of how we get others to get something done. Join your host, Rafael, and his guests on this unique journey in coaching.
Hi, I'm Sifu Rafael, and this is the Coaching Call podcast. If you enjoy this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. This episode was made possible by listeners like you. Good morning, T.O. Thank you so much for joining me on Coaching Call. How are you this morning?
I feel blessed. How are you doing this morning, brother?
Exceptional, my friend. Getting better every day, just a little bit, and that's all I can ask for.
Great.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you. I love. I'm just going to throw it out there because I love your website, right? Light bulb lessons.
Yes.
I can only see when somebody learns something from you, boom, a light bulb goes off. I can see it, right? But the lessons that you've learned in life have been that shining bright light for you. And we're going to get into that. Man, I got to tell everybody, the first time I met you was in Philly, and we were at an event that you were there all day, but I just came in towards the end of it. And when we got to meet each other, I said a couple of things to you, and you kind of looked at me a little funny. But when I explained myself, then you were like, oh, okay, I get it. And we can get into that later on. But that was the first time that you and I connected. And then we also connected in Miami. And when you shared your story, man, it was so deep and powerful. And I am blessed to know you. And what can I say? The more I get to know you, I've also been reading your incredible book, a big fan. And the more I get to know you, the more I want to get to know you, right? So the more I want to spend time with you, my friend. So let's get into the roots of everything, right? Where the seed was planted. Where were you born? And who influenced you before the age of 10, right? Because after 10, things start to change a little bit. We get to become teenagers and so forth. But tell me about that before the age of 10.
Oh, man. First and foremost, thank you. Thank you, Sifu. You're amazing. All the great things you just said, I feel the same. When I'm in your presence, it's like, man, I love your accent. I love your truth, man. Certain people you meet.
That's what I'm wearing today.
Oh, see, there it is. That's the light bulb. Listen, we can turn it off. We get in the live right now.
There you go.
But no, it is, man, and that's in alignment. It's your truth of just being a vulnerable, empathetic, special guy, man. And I love that about you.
Thank
you.
I
wish after yesterday, so many more people could use some of that and how they operate. So, but no, first and foremost, thank you, man. I'm blessed to be here, grateful to be here. And I will honestly say, man, blessings to God, man, to be here, to be in your presence once again. As you said, we met in Philly and then had a great time down in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida area. And now here we are again. And I appreciate you for it because I know it's not an easy feat. A lot of times, especially in this space that we're dealing with, we're impacting and empowering others. And a lot of times, sometimes it's just not in alignment. It's no pun intended, but sometimes it's just not in alignment. And I thank you for, manifesting exactly what you said. You hugged me and you said, brother, we're going to get together and I'm going to bring you on my platform. So I would love the ditto aspect of that. I'd love for you to come on the Light Bulb podcast because I know you have so much to give and you've experienced things on that disciplinary level that only a gentleman like yourself could really dive into and explain from your martial arts background. So
thank you, brother.
Absolutely, man. I was born in a small little bitty town called Winchester, Kentucky. Winchester, and it's about 15 minutes east of Lexington, Kentucky. So
Mm.
it's a lot of people would just say, "Hey, I'm from Lexington" or whatever because it's that small uh, outskirt or whatnot. But truth be told, man, uh, very segregated town. I was born in '76, and I'd say by the time I was 10, I was able to see it. When you think of the state of Kentucky, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, C4, if I may ask?
Definitely cowboys, plantations, Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, yes, that's it. That's what it's known for. The state, obviously, uh, as of current day, many people know the Kentucky Derby, Kentucky basketball,
Mm,
University of Louisville, but the roots run a lot deeper than that, you know,
mm, of
because
course.
absolutely. And what I kind of talked about in the book, man, is my last name, and another aspect of what Kentucky's known for is my family, Muhammad Ali. I don't really go and blast mask that out all the time because I got to carve my lane. I got to pick
Mm,
up with some of the things that he left off with
right,
that
right.
I feel is very important. Uh, don't want to go down that whole aspect of his life, but his life impacted my father,
Mm,
whose life was impacted by his father, whose life was impacted by Buck Clay.
mm,
Buck Clay is known as a mulatto. He's known as
mm,
a mulatto.
right.
He said he's a very tall man. Uh, One day you see him, he could go as being Caucasian. Another day you see him, he could go as being a very light skinned black man. So
Mm,
uh, he actually comes from the tree of Henry Clay. So Henry Clay, Brutus Clay, Cassius Clay. That's where that name came from for
mm,
Muhammad Ali. For people out there who do not know, so there's a lot of history with it, and I have been intrigued, Sifu, by that history
mm,
personally. Like it's a spiritual thing. So
right.
for me, I would always ask my dad, where do we come from? We hear all
Mm,
of this stuff. Oh, all black people from Africa, all black people this, but I was always just intrigued. Seafood.
yeah, yeah.
I have a lot of family members that look mulatto. They look like, they're mixed.
Mm,
But no one's really saying whether they are, whether they're not. So uh, diving into the book kind of goes into that root. Just talking about where we come from, and I think that's
right.
very important. If you do not know where you come from, who are you? That's
Yeah.
just kind of how I see it. So but from 1 to 10, I had a great childhood, man. A really great childhood. Fishing and like you said, cowboys and riding in back of trucks and going out to the ponds and going out to the farms and feeding the hogs and so I had a great small knit community that I grew up in, known as Spruce Court,
Mm,
considered middle class for the African Americans there.
right.
Had decent jobs. My mother and father both had good jobs. So I can't say that I wanted for much seafood in terms of the shoes and the latest clothes. And, my parents provided and they still provide. I'm 48 today and they still provide. And I mean, you met my
Mm,
father. You met
yeah.
my father in Florida. You met my big brother in Florida. So
Mm,
I'm the baby of the bunch, man. And uh, I've always been a natural searcher. I've accepted that. I'm a searcher. I love to search,
mm.
and
I got
sometimes
I gotta stop you for a second because you just mentioned two people I met, and my God, what
yeah,
two incredible people. Your dad blew me away.
yeah, man.
What an incredible human being your dad is, and your brother
Thank you,
likewise.
thank you.
Wow. I mean, you you're so blessed to have been born to
Yeah.
such greatness, if you will. I'm sorry I had to interrupt you. I
No,
apologize for
that's
that.
okay. That's okay.
But
Hey, that's
I got to
okay.
give them credit. My God, they're so incredible, and I was blessed to meet them as well. You know, and your dad, wow, really,
Yes.
really blew me away.
Yeah. And he's to be more specific to your question, he's the anchor, man. My
Mm,
pops, man. You know, he grew up rough, Sifu.
yeah,
You know, he grew up rough, man. Spent a lot of time up where you are in New York. He was that
right.
young country kid trying to go see the bright lights of the city. Two of his older brothers were up there, living up there, and he wanted to go test his metal. And he went
Mm.
up there and uh, you know, realized real quick that, hey, man, I need to get back home. You know, there's no place like home. So, but that has been he's been a major impact and influence on me.
Mm,
And as a young son, man, what more can you ask for?
yeah.
You know, and I understand that aspect of that privilege because I know there's a lot of men, a lot of young fellas that, you know, they don't have a father in their life
Mm.
biologically. So
Let me ask you, did you because sometimes we don't know what we don't know, because did you know the impact that your dad was having on you at even the age of 9, 10, or did you only come to realize that later? Because a lot of times we may be sitting on a golden chair and yet wish for the bright one over there that's not necessarily gold, but it just looks
mhm.
better, right? And we don't know what we don't know.
um, I knew there was something special about my dad. I mean,
Mm,
he's been a minister pretty much as long as I can remember.
mm,
I think he started preaching when I was probably, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, maybe, give or
mm,
take, somewhere within there. But
right.
um, I saw the impact he had on people.
Mhm.
You know, anybody who's been down south knows it's different from up north, man. You know, I've spent a lot of time up north myself. It's
Mm,
almost like you want to go and conquer the places or be in the atmosphere of places that you hear so much about.
right.
And obviously, through my military travels, I was able to do some of those things. But in the South, it's a different vibe. I know in New York City, everybody doesn't speak. You
Mhm.
know, DC, everybody doesn't speak. Baltimore, everybody doesn't speak. You know, Philly, everybody doesn't speak. Everybody's on their way to go and do what they need to do. So, but in the South, a lot of people sit on the porch and just kind of watch the cars roll by, and everybody knows each other in the different
Mm,
communities and knew who your parents were and all of that. A lot of old
mm,
school vibe. And
yeah.
I saw my dad, man, you know, praying for people. You know, he rolled by and pull over the car, and walk up to the fence and start praying with a family. You know,
Mm,
due to someone being sick or shut in or whatnot. So I saw the impact he had on the other side of what they call the Mason Dixon line there, meaning
mm,
the white communities. You know,
right.
I saw my dad treated with respect. You know, my dad never had his hand out. You know, he understood very young that, man, you got to get out there and earn what you desire.
Mhm.
And I saw that with him. And I think a lot of that came from his father and down the line, you know, all the way back to Buck Clay, as I mentioned.
Mm,
There's a town in Winchester uh, called Bucktown. It's an area, it's a community. It's not a specific on the map town, but
right.
it's known as Bucktown, and that's where all the African American commerce was happening. Seafood, you
Mm,
know, the pool halls, the restaurants, the juke joints, the gambling in the back rooms. You know, you can pretty much, you know, label it as the Kentucky Black Wall Street. You know,
mm,
a lot of commerce going through there, pimps, hustlers. And my dad, you know, he came from that.
mhm.
But there was something that took place with him as well, to where he turned that corner. So it's almost like a reincarnation. You know, when I look at my life and I go back and I think about the book, you know, my dad was the first person to tell me, hey, son, you need to write a book.
Mm.
He was the first person to open his mouth and say, hey, son, you need to tell your story.
Mm.
He said, man, I've had dreams. Like literally, God has spoken to me in my dreams to tell you, share your story.
Wow.
And you know, for many years throughout the military travels, when I would come home on leave, things like that, Sifu, or just talking to him on the phone, and he would be visiting me. He never failed to say, Sifu, hey son, you need to write a book.
Wow.
And there was times I would get angry at him, and I'm like, Dad, man, like I don't want to write a book, man. You know. But he was spot on, and I, you know, once that time was right, and I knew it was time to put it on paper, man. I'm just grateful I did it, Sifu. You know,
Yes.
definitely didn't do it just for money. Definitely didn't do it just for clout. Definitely didn't do it to speak on a stage. I did it because I know there's people out there on drugs for real.
Mm.
I know there's people out there that don't believe in God's power.
Right.
You know, and I'm a living testimony, live in the flesh. Whether it's this live is choppy, whether my words are not syncing with my lips, you can hear what is coming out of my mouth right now.
Mm-hmm.
God is real. God is real, and nothing else, you know, got me to stop abusing drugs.
Mm.
It was God specifically, and it was God utilizing people. It was God utilizing things. It was God utilizing places. And that's taught in, you know, addiction, therapy, you know, AA, NA, Narcotics Anonymous. It's taught people, places, and things. And I'm grateful to say, Sifu, I've been able to apply that in every aspect of my life. And which,
So you're talking about drugs, right?
yes.
What do you mean by that? Is it because of experience? Is it because you've seen it? Or is it both?
I would say both.
Mm.
It's both, Sifu.
Mm-hmm.
You know someone right now that's probably on drugs, most likely.
Mm.
And if they come on any of your platforms and they say, hey, I know Sifu. Sifu's a great guy. Or I grew up with him, went to school with him, or I used to date his sibling, or whatever the case. Whatever form of fashion they know you from, if they're on drugs, they could listen to you. And that aspect of people can help shift and shape them being able to conquer that demon, because that's what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
But most people, from my experience of teaching about addiction through leadership, through experience, a lot of people don't know how to stop. It's because again, and I'll say this, people, you can replace drugs with sex.
Mm-hmm.
You can replace
Still an addiction.
Yeah, addiction is addiction, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people are addicted to Krispy Kreme donuts. They don't know how to stop, you know.
Correct.
But when we roll by Krispy Kreme and we see that bright red light on, you know, we don't see that as a horrible thing, or maybe the workout, you know, expert does. Like, oh, that's demonic to eat a donut from Krispy Kreme. You know what I mean? So.
It's interesting when we can talk about addiction because, and you said I may know somebody who has an addiction, but addiction, and let's be clear, addiction is not just drugs. It could be addiction to anything. There was a woman who was so addicted to working out that she actually died on the treadmill because she wore herself out. She would be at the gym hours on end, working herself. She worked herself to death. So that was a negative taking something positive and she made it negative, and her addiction is actually what killed her. So when we talk about addiction, and I love the fact that you talked about Krispy Kreme could be an addiction as well.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to laugh at addiction because it overwhelms a person. It
Yes.
consumes them.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, your book, my friend, if you have not seen this book, if you need to get this book, you don't need to get it, you must get it, right? You
Man.
must get this book. It is From Here to There, Prodigal
Yes.
and Back. Timothy T.O. Clay. When
Yes.
we and you talk about the addiction in here, and before we even got on, I told you that that's something that I have always avoided. But
Excuse me.
you give it clarity, and it's so beautiful because we don't know what someone else is going through. And you also talk about how people who have an addiction do their darndest to hide it from others,
Yes.
right? And that's something that anybody who's listening, it doesn't matter. uh, I got to tell you, I'm addicted to life.
That's
um,
good.
but but that
That's
is an
good.
addiction, right? And when we lose that addiction, then we may look for a way out of life, and that also is because we don't see the beauty that life brings us.
Right.
And you've seen so much, my friend. You have. I don't want to tell your story because it is your story, but I love how you brought me in and allowed me to know you through your book. And I highly, people, I got to tell you, you have to pick this book up. And when I got this book from you and you actually signed it, I was grateful for that. And when I said to you, I need to get your book. I need to make sure I get your book before we part. And I'm just there to support you. And anything that I can do to support your cause as well, it's in my interest because what you're doing is incredible and your story is incredible. And I'm gonna stop ranting and raving and let you continue.
Oh, I
um,
appreciate it.
and I want to say hi to Emilio, who said hi to us and good morning. He's also a He-Man, and he was there with us as well. And
Yes.
so many incredible people were with us in Miami at
Oh man.
the mud construction event, if you will, with the incredible Dr. Oliver T. Reed.
Yes. Yes. Shout out to ROT Reed.
Yeah.
Shout out to Emilio Ramon, my Marine brother. Big love,
Mhm.
man. I smile when I think about you gentlemen. I've been a part of the most illustrious fighting force in the entire world,
Mm.
United States Marine Corps.
Yes,
You
sir.
got some good ones out there. Don't get me wrong. You got
Oh,
the SEALs, you got some good outfits out there. But man, in 3 days, since 1775, birthday of the Marine Corps, November the 10th, 1975. I'm sorry, 1775, all the way up until now,
mm,
Marine Corps has been known as America's 911 fighting force.
that's right. By the way, I am so grateful to you and honored that you served in not only our country, but I feel like you've served for me personally. My brother's also a Marine,
All right.
and oh yeah, and he actually he's still he he's reserved, right? So
Yeah.
he still serves
Hey, he's a
whenever he
Marine.
he's
He's a
well,
Marine.
once a Marine, always a Marine, right?
That's it. That's it, man.
Yes,
He stood on the footprints.
yeah. So
He went through boot camp. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. So he still serves actually. So
Right.
shout out to my brother as well, and all the Marines and everybody who served. But thank you for your service, my friend.
Man, thank you, Sifu. That means a lot, man. And why do we do it?
Mm.
Like I told you, I'm a natural searcher, Sifu. Why do we serve?
Mm.
Like I don't think that could ever be answered. There's a trillion reasons why.
Yeah.
But for Timothy T.O. Clay, man, it was already predestined.
Mm.
And I knew, hey, man, if you're going to go to the service, man, you got to go where it's the toughest. You have to go where it's the most brutal. You have to go to where they're going to draw things out of you that you're not capable of drawing out of yourself.
Right.
And I know you understand that, Sifu, man, just from the like I said earlier, the discipline of martial arts, man. It takes discipline, man. When I saw that video of you, man, with that sword, I can't do it, bro. Like I can't do it right now. If
You
you
can't
hand
do
me a
it yet.
sword,
You can't
yeah,
do
that's
it
what I
yet.
was going to say. That's what I was going to say. I can't do it right now, Sifu. But
Yeah.
if I went and I spent that good copious time with you, and
We're gonna get that time sometime. Hey, listen,
yeah,
by the way, Dr. Oliver T. Reed says, hey, he man. Love you,
Dr. Reed in
James.
the house, yo.
Yeah, man.
I love Dr. Reed, man.
Yeah.
Again, that's the whole purpose of me saying what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've served with the best of the best, but I also know He-Man
Mm.
are the best of the best, bro.
Yes, sir.
And we all have our own outfit. We got light bulb lessons. We got speaking prowess. We got, man, I just saw you just dropped, your new TV show. It's going to be amazing, bro. It's top notch, and we support 1 million. Author Millionaire Network. Like look at this, man. I got like 10 of these books, bro. Like,
Love it.
AMA speaker, But my point is this, man. When we come together, man, it's a special thing. And that's why I'm just grateful to be here, bro. Like, people ask me, man, how do you get on these different podcasts, T.O.? Like, how do you be getting on these podcasts? And I'm like, man, it's the connection of love, man. It's meeting people. It's being your most authentic self.
Yeah.
23 years, man. I couldn't have this in the Marine Corps, all of this hair. You look at any picture of me all the way back, man. I was bald to the bald could be. Straight face, no mustache, no beard. It's conforming to a standard. And I just love being in the presence of gentlemen that have a standard. And that standard starts with loving the Lord. Not saying that we're perfect. I had my wife just got a one of those new Ninja. It's like a frosty machine or something.
Yeah.
It's top notch. She made some last night for the first time. Threw a little bit of Jose Cuervo up in there. I knocked it down. I was like, oh, okay, But I just love being real. That's what I love about He-Man. That's what I love about Dr. Reed.
Yeah.
Dr. Reed sat with me for 14 months and drew that story out of me, dog.
Oof, that's beautiful, man.
He drew it out of me, man. I didn't want to talk about smoking drugs. I didn't feel like I had to. I could just write a book talking about all the amazing things I did as a U.S. Marine.
Correct.
But no,
let me break it down for some people. You came out of a dark place, and I love when you have the light bulb analogy, because it's the light that shone on you to show you a better way. Let me ask you, what was that moment when you said, I need to become a Marine?
Oh man, that moment was that again. Back to Pops. Shout out to Joe Clay, man. We were riding in the car. I called myself getting in a community college. And I was there for the women. I was there to look cool. I was there for the clout, And my dad picked me up one day. Like I said, I didn't have a car at the time, broke, thinking I'm about something. He picked me up. He was driving, and He's driving and he said, son, you ever thought about joining the military? I said, man, you're out of your mind, Pops. Like, you're out of your mind. And I remember I was just looking out the window, Sifu. I was looking out the window and I'm just like, man, this fool gonna tell me to go to the military, dog? Like, the military? Are you crazy? You didn't go, good sir. But you want me to go over here and fight in some foreign country? Nah, bro. It's a big enough fight going on right here in the hood.
Yeah.
You know, I was in that mentality, bro. Stinking thinking. We call it stinking thinking, Sifu.
Yeah.
The stinking thinking, the saboteur thinking.
Oof.
And
That's
my dad,
powerful.
yes, sir. My dad said, well, son, if I could go back to your age, I would have went. He said, I have friends that went to Vietnam, have friends that died. He said, but one thing the military will do, it'll make a man out of you. You'll get to see the world. You'll learn responsibility. It'll take you further than what I could teach you, son. And man, that resonated, Sifu. Ooh, I just got chills, bro.
Wow, that is powerful right there.
I just got chills, dog.
Yes,
I literally just got chills. And that's why I say, man, the story is not meant just for us to hold on to, bro. The story is for us to share it. I met a young lady, you know, her son just left to go to the military last week. And I had the presence of mind. I knew I need to reach out to her because she's feeling it now. That's the first time her baby boy is up and leaving. Right. She has no control. She's thinking, you know, oh my God, are they going to hurt him? Are they going to? And I just wanted to call and just give her some, you know, some love, man. And I told her, I said, hey, man, your son's embarking on a journey that only us that's experienced can ever understand. And I said, man, the best thing you could do is just pray, you know, write him letters, encourage him. Same thing, you know, once my dad said that, he planted that seed. But I knew, you know, it was my destiny to go in the Marine Corps because I spoke to the Navy, spoke to the Air Force, the Army. It didn't mesh right. But that Marine guy, man, he was like, hey, you need to come and talk to me. And it just resonated, man. And I said, whether I do 4 years, whether I make a career out of it, man, I know I'm going to be challenged. And, you know, I'm recovering from a drug addiction. You know what I'm saying? I need to get away. I have to go far beyond the foreign lands and foreign shores. I have to be in an environment to where it's not easily accessible everywhere I turn. And that's why I always say with clients that I work with too, man, I tell them, I'm like, you know, my drug of choice was cocaine, you know, whether it was powder form, whether it was cooked up in rock form, cocaine is cocaine, you know. And I tell them, I don't walk into the grocery store and see cocaine. Right. Think about that, Sifu. I don't walk in the pub or the bar and just automatically see cocaine. So imagine the person that's dealing with the alcohol aspect of it. And that's where my maturity had to grow in terms of understanding people, places, and things. Some places we can't go anymore. Some things we can't do anymore. Just like with business. Everybody talks about scale, you know, I want to grow, I want this, I want that. Like I told you, I use people, places, and things and apply it 360 degrees with everything I deal with. Because again, Dr. Reed told us a long time ago, like, hey, bro, you're not late. You know, your timing is your time. You know, and truth be told, I know I'm not late. I'm not late in terms of I don't have to, you know, bang out this every single day. I don't have to. No, the biggest thing for me is to stay in the bosom and the understanding of what God ordained for me. And I know what he ordained for me. He brought me out, and it's my responsibility to help bring others out. And again, I love the conversation because some people don't believe it. Like individuals that I worked with along the way that have read my book, they're like, no way, bro, you freaking lying.
Yeah. Well, we have Jose right here. He's a huge fan of yours too.
Ah man,
We're both
Jose,
huge fans of Jose too, right?
shout out to Jose Escobar, dog. I love
Oh,
Jose.
yeah.
We can talk about Jose for a whole hour, man. You know, when I see Jose in Greece, bro, like literally, man, when I see Jose in Greece with the beautiful backdrop, you know, the first thing that came to my mind was, man, that man earned that. He worked hard for
Yes.
that, bro.
Right on.
He many a days dreamed of that moment,
Mhm.
you know, and via applying the principles and the understanding of people, places, and things, you know, those blessings flowed, man. So shout out to Jose, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shout out, big time, man. No, man, but I love it, Sifu. It's you know, we have to say this, man. Like yesterday was a day that I was able to look at and see, man, there's certain people. Back to Jose. Jose said it's okay to vote and still show love. You know, it's okay. You know, and it's real,
Absolutely.
man. And I'm looking and seeing people jumping on the opportunity. You know, I'm jumping on the opportunity because I can. But my message is clear, man. And I've been saying it from day one. Every one of us has light. You know, we all have a light within us, and light is L, love, I, intellect, G, greatness, H, health, and T is truth. It's on your shirt.
Mm.
That was already ordained. That's the light bulb. It's on your shirt, bro. Like we have to live in truth.
We
The
are
truth
here.
is, yeah, the truth is God is in control. No
sure.
man standing on Pennsylvania Ave, no woman standing on Pennsylvania Ave is in control. God is
That's
in
right.
control.
Mhm.
You know, and I'm just grateful to be surrounded, you know, with brothers like yourself and gentlemen and women that understand that principle. And that's the biggest thing to take away from here to there, prodigal and back.
Mhm.
You know, here to there, prodigal and back, bro, is it's real. It's dog, like me and Emilio talked about it. When my dad put his hand on the back of my neck, started stroking my neck, man, he cried out, bro.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, dog. He cried out as if it happened 2 minutes ago, Sifu. And I began to puke. And everything that I had inhaled, everything that I had snorted, everything I had swallowed, it all came out at once.
Mm.
He called it out of my body. The same
Oof.
man that said, boy, you need to write a book. The same
Mm.
man that said, boy, get the hell out of here. You're not bringing that mess in my house with me and my wife. The same man that said, hey, boy, you hungry? All right, let's go get something to eat. I don't care how mad I am. Hey, let's go get something to eat. The same man who got on a plane, 75 years old, and took his butt down to Fort Lauderdale and poured into us about building.
Oof.
You know, building churches, building kingdoms.
Yeah.
So, man, it's real, bro. I love you, Sifu. I love you,
Likewise,
man.
brother.
I really do. And I thank you, man. I thank you for providing me a platform, because whether it's one or two listening, it permeates. You
It
know,
does.
shout out to Anthony Cutno. Shout out to so many fellas that have encouraged me to just keep pushing on, man, and keep sharing the light. And that's what it is, man. The light. The light bulb lessons, man. That lesson is in everything that we see. People, places, and things. Everything. So
Absolutely. Oliver T. Reed, Dr. Oliver T. Reed says Pop Clay is epic. Oh,
yes,
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
he is, man. He is.
So Pop Clay, Joe Clay says to you, get in the military. And you questioned it.
Absolutely.
But yet you knew he was right.
Yeah.
And you looked at all the different opportunities, but you went with the Marines, who are the elite, right?
Yes.
And when you finally enrolled, did you know how far you were going to go? Because you went, tell us, I want to know about your rank. I mean, my gosh, you started from the bottom and you went as high as you possibly can. And I am so blessed to know you. And I got to tell you, man, you talk about discipline. I mean, there's nobody more disciplined than a Marine because your life depends on it. My life depends on you being disciplined, right? Because you're protecting us, right? So, so grateful to everybody who's served or is currently serving in the military. And that young man who just left last week, and his mom, and the fact that you reached out to her and you let her know that this is going to make a man out of him. And it'll be the most important thing. And I love what your dad said to you. The military will make you a man like I can't. And he trusted someone else with his little boy.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot.
Yeah, it does, man. And you know what's a blessing in that?
Tell me.
He got to meet many of the men that stepped in his role. He got to meet them. He got to meet Matty Knox. He got to meet Kenneth Terry. He got to meet Andre Smallwood. He got to meet Ross Blaine. He got to meet so many men, Mario Marquez, men from all over that saw something in me, just something small, tweet, whatever, said, man, come here, young man, I got you. Ooh. And I'm going to be hard on you. And I'm going to push you hard. And I'm going to extract out of you what you can't even imagine I can get out of you. All you have to do is believe. All you have to do is want to dang on prosper, you know, and Dad got to meet a lot of those gentlemen, man, full circle moments. And
he's another huge person.
Yeah.
Look who's on with us.
Shout out to Big Mo. See, I love the support, man. Yeah, that's he, man, bro. Like I feel right now, I feel like Captain America when he was sitting there almost defeated, wobbly, and man, them portals start opening and Avengers coming out of nowhere, bro. Like that's these moments, and we try to do that for one another, man. You know, shout out to Mo, man. Just becoming, you know, a certified evangelist, bro. Like that's
beautiful. When I saw those pictures, beautiful,
powerful, bro. So powerful. That's it, man. That what I'm grateful for is God gave, you know, exactly what He said He would give. He gave me brothers that, man, you know, when the lights are on, when the lights are off, bro, they're still my brothers. I can count on them. We don't speak for a week. I can still count on them. You know, they ain't went nowhere because they understand the assignment, bro. And the assignment has been this whole journey. The whole trajectory of this journey has been the assignment. And we're still on assignment. And again, as far as rank wise, you've heard the term 1,000 times, Sifu, trillions of times, actually. Nothing worth having comes easy, bro. You know, I didn't make up or coin that statement. It's just the truth. Back to your shirt again. It's the truth. Nothing worth having is ever going to come easy. And man, I worked hard for every aspect of, you know, that rank. But I will say this though, Sifu, it never defined me. Because a lot of people won't respect the man, but they will respect the rank. I always saw opposite. I want to be respected as the man,
right?
And the rank will take care of itself. You know, you have to respect the rank as the man, because again, if you don't respect the rank, just like a belt in martial arts, if you don't respect the brown belt because you're a black belt, come on, man. That you once put that brown belt on too. You once had that yellow belt on too. You know?
I'm a white belt that never quit, man. That's what I am.
Ooh, I love it. I love it, dog. But that's what it's about, man. Like I don't like to, people get on me a lot. They like, T.O., man, you don't like talking about all the goody good stuff. And it's like, man, at the end of the day, man, it's character, bro. Like I know some creeps that are high ranking individuals. Some of the worst character of a person I've ever met had on that rank, or was a colonel, was a general. So it, when you see behind the big bad curtain, you start realizing that it's still about what we talked about down in Florida. JJ did Ty Buckle. Justice, judgment, dependability, initiative, decisiveness, tact, integrity, and endurance, bearing, unselfishness, courage, knowledge, loyalty, enthusiasm. That's still what it's about. Within those pillars: love, intellect, greatness, health, and truth. And God gave me that, bro, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud that the good God Almighty said, man, go forth, my son, and the message is going to be light bulb lessons. I have so many old books from the Marines and, old crusty books that just have thousands and thousands of light bulb lessons from some of the greatest leaders known to man, like Leonidas type leaders. And I was writing down little light bulb lessons, and a lot of it that I've accumulated and brought back to the threshold. It's about character. That's why Jose Escobar is loved so much. Character. That's why Dr. Albert T. Reed, Sifu, so many great gentlemen, Raul, Emilio. It's character. And for anybody out there listening, character. Your character is what's going to sustain.
Right.
So, man, I could go on for days about that, man. Because it's character, bro. My character wasn't drugs. That was something that I did, but not something that I am.
Correct.
But we're taught. Anybody that's been down through that journey, that path, understands. We're taught that once an addict, always an addict, right? And some people don't rock with that, Sifu. Some people are like, no, I won't put that dominion over me. I just said dominion. Shout out to Divine Warriors Dimension.
Yes.
Anthony Cutno. Yeah. But again, some people, the words that you say, have purpose, have value, have meaning. That's true. But it kind of blows people's minds when I say, hey, man, I'm still an addict. I just choose not to use. Character based. I don't want to hurt my family. I don't want you to get a phone call, Sifu, that T.O. Clay fell off, man. He's back on dope. He got the big head and made a little money and went out here and started back that same journey. I don't want that to be. I don't want my kids, So again, character wise, but when you're in the thick of it, like you said earlier, how do you stop? You know what I'm saying? How do you stop? We're talking about a chemical imbalance, bro.
Totally.
That's real. Like like the most addictive thing on the planet right now, in my personal opinion, is sugar.
That is true.
So, yeah, that's a
Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme, right there.
That's a good one.
When you consider, like I asked you, you went into the military not knowing where you would wind up along the way.
Yeah.
You didn't know how many years you would serve. Most people go in, they serve 4 years, and they get out and they never look back. But not you. You had to re-enlist, and I want to know why you did such a thing.
Okay, great question too, Sifu. The first re-enlistment, okay, I joined in 98. So you figure 2001, what happened in 2001? I mean, you're right down the road from it right now. when those towers got hit, bro, like that hit home. You know, as I'm sure you could well definitely understand. It hit home, bro. And that was that first sense of like, wow, this is real, bro. If you join the military just to go to college, if you join the military because they pay on the 1st and 15th, and I'm guaranteed, let those contingencies pop off and see how you feel then. Because in that moment, that's when I knew, like, wow, this is real. You know, I'm a Marine. We're America 911. We're the first to fight. I'm in 1st Battalion, 1st Marines, which is coined as the unit first to fight. And it's like, okay, all right, this is real. So you factor in come to, 4 years, they're going to start asking you about reenlistment about 2 years out. They don't want to wait to the last minute, even though the individual Marine has that right to do so. There's pretty much there's a cutoff, but they could work with you if you wait all the way up to the last minute, with like 2 months left on your contract. If you say, "Hey, I want to stay," they're going to work with you.
Right.
But they're already courting you about 2 years out. So for me, I already knew. I was enjoying it. I was having fun. By then, I had seen Thailand. I had seen the Philippines. I had seen Guam. I had seen Singapore. I had seen Australia, all through Australia, Melbourne, Perth, Sydney. So I'm like, bro, like, this is dope. Like, this is really dope. Like, Joe Clay was right. You get to see the world, man.
Yeah.
And so again, I chose to stay, bro. And I was getting stronger. I wanted that journey of continuing on, of getting stronger, getting further removed from the dope, getting further removed from that dark cloud. I was like, bro, I'm playing ball again. I'm hooping again. I'm in impeccable shape, bro.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I don't really get mad at today. I don't get mad about the Krispy Kreme today because hey, me and Mo talk about it a lot. Me and Mo talk about, that health aspect of things, working out, staying in impeccable shape to the best we can. Man, I did it for a living, bro. It's different. And I only can speak for T.O. Clay, but man, there's so many miles on this old body sitting here in this chair. Woo-hoo, Lord have mercy. And
I hear you.
I've only, I've been retired for 3 years now, but I feel like my body has felt the best it's ever felt, man, since I left home in '98. Because
so what is the total amount of years that you served in, and how did you move up the ranks? Because you mentioned a bunch of people who your dad got to meet, but those people you said also saw something special in you, and that's incredible. But how was it easy to move through the ranks? Were you just like, okay, you're next, you're up? Or was it that you had to work for it? I know I know what I'm asking.
Yeah, I know you know what you're asking. Oh, definitely not easy, man. I served a total of 23. I did 23 years, came home. I still had a lot left in me, man. I could have went to 30. I chose my family, bro.
Gotcha.
I really did. But throughout the ranks, I got meritoriously promoted all the way up to E7. So meritorious is basically you're getting promoted before your normal time to be looked at for promotion. And it was those gentlemen that I named that pushed me, man. Hey, you got to have the best rifle score, as far as qualification. You got to have the highest physical fitness score. You basically got to max out at all the aspects that make up, criteria for promotion. You have to be well studied. You have to have great evaluations, all those things. So I did a lot of praying, Sifu. I'm just being honest. There's people out there that may see this and be like, man, he's full of crap. No, dog. Ask any Marine right now that knows Timothy T.O. Clay, Sergeant Major.
Well, Sergeant Major is the realest cat I know, and that's by Big Mo.
Yo, bro always
Yeah,
says
man.
that, man. But it's real. Like, it's just being real, man. Like, it's like anything else, man. If you get in a tournament, Sifu, and it's, you know, 1,000 other fighters just like you. You know about some of them you don't. You just know there's gonna be, you know, one man standing in the end. Bro, you're gonna go all out, Sifu.
That's it.
It's
the only way.
Yeah, you're gonna perish on your sword, bro. If you perish, like, you're going to go all out. You're gonna lay it all out, bro. You're gonna rely on intuition. You're gonna rely on the basic things, you know, mind, body, and spirit. You're gonna rely on muscle memory. And then when you're in the thick of that fight, bro, and you get to that threshold where you can't do nothing else but just push beyond, bro. You're gonna push beyond that threshold. That, what I would say, is equivalent of making it all the way to the highest rank in the United States Marine Corps. You got to push beyond. You got to do things that everybody else ain't want to do, bro. There's only it's less than 6% of the United States Marine Corps that makes it to the rank of Sergeant Major, bro. It's actually less than that. It's actually probably by now like 3-4%. You know,
well, congratulations on your resilience for sure.
Yeah, man.
You know?
I wanted it, though, Sifu. Thank you. I wanted that from the moment when I saw the rank structure. Like, I got it right here, Sifu. What's it to you, bro? My wife made this for me. My wife made this for me before my retirement. It's down here in my lap. This right here, bro.
What?
This is a Sergeant Major chevron. She made
That's beautiful, man.
It's out of cardboard. But
I see that. That's awesome.
3 stripes up, 4 stripes down, 5-point star in the center. I knew that when I first got to boot camp in 1998. I saw that back to people, places, and things. I knew there was only one Sergeant Major. There's many E6s, there are many E5s, but as far as the unit is concerned, there's one. There's one dude, one gal. And I knew. I said, man, if I decide to stay and make a career out of this, I want to make it to the cream of the crop. And I'll leave you with this, man. Sergeant Major, the cream of the crop. Master Gunnery Sergeant doesn't like the word top. First sergeant's always on the kill. Master sergeants are the one with the skills. Gunnery sergeants always say, hell no. Staff sergeants keep you in the know. Sergeants are those real a-holes. And corporals are the new NCOs. Lance corporals love to moan and gripe. And a PFC just has one stripe. Privates have all the fun. Sound off on my PT run. You know, so that's one of those motivational chants that we bark out. So when you're a young Marine and you're running and we're about 7-8 miles in and everybody's broke off and you hear that Sergeant Major, the cream of the crop, like, hey, it gets embedded. It's like, yo, like, if I stay, why not shoot for the cream of the crop? But also understand the responsibility that comes along with that. Vinnie Cochran understands that. T.O. Clay, we understand that. You know, we understand that responsibility that comes with being at the cream of the crop. It's not easy, bro. And there's 2 doors. You're either going to walk through this door or you're going to walk through that door. Meaning, you're going to walk through this door and understand the sacrifice that comes along with being in charge of 1,000, you know, to 3,000 troops. That's all dependent on you to lead them. Two different worlds, man. So
I got to tell you, we barely touched on anything today because your life is so grand and it's so beautiful, and you've made something of it. So many people don't. They just live under the radar, right? You've gone above the radar.
It's a good one.
You've done things that
It's a
are
good
very
one.
inspirational. You've come out from the darkness into the
Yeah.
light, and but you're shining the light on others. And I got to tell you, I think we're gonna have to do another episode, my friend. I think we need
Please,
to
let's
talk
do it,
some
man.
more.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
let's go
I'm gonna
deeper, man.
let's
We
go
can go
way
deeper,
deeper,
bro.
right?
We can go way deeper. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. This was really exceptional. I also want to, we have it across the screen, lightbulblessons.com. Do
Yeah.
me a favor, everybody. Go there, take a look, get the book, get the book. And if you're a podcast host and if you want an incredible human being to be your guest, here's the man. If you need somebody to speak on your stage, Cleo, Tio, Clay is the man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, bro.
When we consider, I'm going to touch really quick about when you spoke and you showed us a picture, and you had to stop speaking
Oh yeah.
because that picture
Yeah.
meant so much to you,
Yeah, man.
and it was you with President Obama.
Yeah, man.
And that touched you deeply because it showed you something, and I want to leave it there.
Yeah, man.
to get people to go, wait, I want to know more about that,
Yeah.
and I think we'll do
True.
that on the next one, right?
Absolutely.
We're
Yes.
teasing them. Come
Yeah.
back,
That'll
take
be
a
dope.
look,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna leave it off for today, but I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Give me a little infomercial on why people should go to your website and connect with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Leadership. We all require some form of leadership. Every one of us. What I do is pretty simple. I coach individuals about leadership. It's nothing high power. We discuss things in terms of resilience. We discuss things in terms of work-life balance. We discuss things in terms of a higher calling, purpose, why. So at the website, you'll see, we do a lot of leadership challenges. We do a lot of little small summits that's not just veteran related. Some people think, oh, well, I'm not a veteran, I can't work with TO. No, you can work with TO. And if I don't know it, hey, I got Sifu, I got Jose, I got Mo, I got Emilio, I got many dudes that I could tap you in with to help you solve whatever issue, whatever problem thing you're trying to overcome. And that's what we provide. We provide expert leadership coaching. If you want to purchase the book, it's also on the website. And great blog on there that just really taps into you as the individual, myself as the individual, and just growing as leaders. So yeah, check it out, lightbulblessons.com. Where's your light and how are you shining your light? Very important.
It's also important if you don't know about your light, and Tio will help you find your light. Right?
Yes. Man.
All right, my friend. Listen, do me a favor. Don't go away. We're going to say goodbye to everybody, but I want to make sure everybody listen. He's coming back, right?
Oh,
Coming back?
100%. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
great. Episode 2 coming to you really soon, everybody. Thank you again for being here with us. Thank you to everybody who came in. One person who did not make a comment, but she was here with us, Doris Danielle Jackson Shazir, an incredible human being as well. And what can I say? Everybody, thank you for joining us today, and make today an exceptional day. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, everybody.
Peace.